and welcome. I am going to discuss today how you can approach a literary peer-reviewed article. Now, for this particular assignment, you are going to be assigned the article that you need to focus on in your essay. In general, though, obviously, you will not be assigned a specific article. You will have to find them on your own. So, I'm going to show you briefly how to do that. First, many of you use Google Scholar, and really that is fine. However, you should know that generally the entire article is not located online. You have to actually go to a library because to access these peer-reviewed articles, you have to pay for the information. Our particular library has done that for you, so that's why you should make use of it. But what you can do is if you find a peer-reviewed article online, you can enter in the title of that article in the Everything search bar and then click on search. And most of the time, you will find that article. So let's go ahead and move on from there. When you want to search for information in the actual library, for literary peer-reviewed articles, the best way to do it is click on Databases A through Z list. So let's go ahead and click on that. There are a number of great databases that you can use to find literary peer-reviewed articles. One of them would be Academic Search Premier. Another one would be JSTOR. Finally, and this is the one that we're going to use today, ProQuest is a great area to locate peer-reviewed sources. So let's go ahead and click on ProQuest. When you click on a database, you want to look for this, Advanced Search. So let's click on that. And then it's going to bring up an advanced search right here. And so what you would want to do is enter in your general search term. Let's say you want to search for a specific work. Well, what you would do is you would put that work in quotation marks, and then instead of anywhere, you would want to put it in all subjects. You could even do it in an abstract, and an abstract means that this work would be the focus, the main focus of that particular article. You can also search for a specific author as well, but note that you don't want to put author. You don't want to search for Fitzgerald as the author because that means you will be pulling up primary sources. And remember, secondary sources are what you want to use when you're researching because secondary sources discuss primary sources. And that's what you're looking for with literary research articles. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this source. Okay, this is a specific title that you might be using for your essay. So I'm going to pull it up. And then this is the article, right? The importance of being earnest and so on and so forth. So generally, peer-reviewed articles are organized in the similar manner in that they have an introduction, a thesis statement, a literature review, and an analysis. But the literature review and the analysis are generally focused on the actual work itself and not necessarily conducting some sort of study. So here we have the introduction, and then here we go. This is the thesis statement. Now, in undergraduate work, you don't want to use in this paper or in this essay. However, you will see this in peer-reviewed articles, and sometimes you will even see first person used. In undergraduate courses, we teach you not to use first person, but in many peer-reviewed articles, they kind of, get away from that and use first person, and that's fine. You'll see that. So this is the author's thesis statement. In this paper, I will show that conformity and resistance are present simultaneously at each stage of the play. And the play obviously is referring to the importance of being earnest. So that's the introductory section. And notice that it's 2 paragraphs long. In peer-reviewed articles, generally the introduction will be about 2 paragraphs long. After that, you'll have the literature review. And the literature review is basically a discussion of what other experts have said about the work and the focus that the author is taking in their particular article. So, for example, this would be one author that this author has found. There's another one, another expert. This is a theorist. Let's pull this down. There's one of the authors again. Here's another author. Here's another author. And let's see if we can find another one. Here's another one. So basically what's happening is this author is combining all of these sources that the author has found and discussing it in what we call a literature review. And in this particular article, it's about 2 paragraphs long. They're longer paragraphs, but it's around 2 paragraphs long. And that's what you'll often find in other peer-reviewed articles. Sometimes a literature review could be 5 paragraphs, sometimes 4. You know, it just depends. But just remember, the literature review is the prior research the author has used to discuss this particular topic. And so what generally people use is they use these peer-reviewed discussions to find some sort of gap. And their thesis statement, their hypothesis, will fill in this gap. So that would be the second part of the peer-reviewed article. The author will take specifics from the particular work, and they will use these particular instances to prove their thesis statement. So you'll see that in this section, where the author is pulling in specific quotations and so on and so forth to prove that author's interpretation of this work. And here we go. This is something else we've discussed, is that there is some sort of historical criticism going on as well. And when I say criticism, I don't mean criticize. I mean a method of interpreting a work, as we discussed in lesson 4. So this again is more analysis of the play. There's more analysis right here. And then after the analysis, you are going to find the conclusion. And the conclusion, again, just like the introduction, is about 2 paragraphs long. So, and then after that, obviously, you're going to find the bibliography. Okay, so there's quite a number of sources here, but all of the sources have been used in this author's essay. So she's not, or he or she is not just listing sources for no reason. These are actual sources that the author has used. So again, peer-reviewed articles have been examined for accuracy by other experts in the field. They generally start with an introduction. They end that introduction with a thesis statement. They have a literature review, which basically is combining all the research they have done about this topic and this actual literary work. And then they conduct an analysis of that literary work. Then they have a conclusion at the very end. I know I'm whipping through this. And the conclusion can also be 2 paragraphs. And then there's a list of sources that they've used. Hopefully this kind of helps you understand how to read a peer-reviewed article. But if you need help, please post in the open forum, or you can just send me a message if it's something personal. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.